Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome into the podcast once again. Gonna be a quick one today. I'm all by myself, lonesome yet again. If anybody wants to hop on here with me, please let me know. Would love to have some company. So just getting into it. Let's start off with the fab offers this time. So Quentin Johnson goes for $1. Keaton Mitchell was probably the waiver wire hotness. Goes to Ryan for $11. I was going to put in a bid for him too. I did in Ben's league, I think, but didn't get it. $3 was the underperforming offer there for Keaton Mitchell. Looks like he's going to be getting some more work. Looks very, very talented. The Jets defense for $15 from Kim. Okay, quite a bit for a defense. Demario Douglas for $3 to Ryan. Chargers to Matt. Oh, that was last week. Oops. Demario Douglas last week too. I'm missing that because there was added players, not fab players. Derek Carr for $10. Matt needed a quarterback, I believe. Ben gets Brock Purdy. I guess Ben didn't bid. Yeah, okay. So let's go over last week's matchups. Start with me and Becker. Shit performance from my team. They brought it back a little bit. I came within a 20 point, which is way more than I thought. But yeah, bad weeks from Pacheco and Pollard, and Zay Flowers really hurt. Really good weeks from Ferguson and Deontay Johnson. Olave actually finally caught a touchdown too, so that was nice. Nico was, I think, the worst performing of the Texans, and CJ Stroud's 15 touchdown game that he had, but Lamar Jackson gave all the touchdowns to the running backs, so not great. Becker, on the other hand, good week from Dak Prescott. Crazy because he looks like he's back and a good quarterback again. I don't know what happened. Jinxed it with Jacobs. He's going to have, a good week against me when he had all these bad weeks. Cool. Hopkins did what I thought he was going to do. He did a little bit more. I thought Hopkins was going to have a terrible game. Had a decent game. 10 points isn't anything to write home about, but Jamar Chase got shut down. Kamara did not get normal Kamara points, but had the good performance from Prescott, Jacobs, and Jahan Dotson. I'm really glad that the Commanders are starting to use him. You spend first-round draft capital on a rookie wide receiver, and it takes you until the second and a half year of his playing career to actually use him properly. At least they finally have started. Ramondre had an amazing game too. And not much on our defense or in our benches to write home about. So, good job, Becker. The husband and wife matchup, Tim killed it. Kim had a bad week from some of her players. The Eagles mostly. Devonta Smith had an okay game here, but Swift and Goddard is now going to be out for 4 weeks. That's rough. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, where's Amon-Ra on bye? I forgot. Joe Burrow looks like he's back. Saquon, doing Saquon middle, 14, 15 points from Saquon. Mixon and McLaurin showed up, but 2 points from, just kind of a low week for Kim. Whereas on the other side here, Eckler, 21 points, Fucking Jonnu Smith. Good call there, Tim, for playing Jonnu Smith and having those platinum fucking clackers on you to actually pull that through and do that. I would have never thought that was going to work out, but congratulations, it did. Tank Dell, obviously, 2 touchdowns off of the CJ Stroud 15. And the Cleveland defense shutting out Arizona, getting you 23 points. That's always very helpful. So, congratulations, Tim, on, was that your second win? Yeah, second win. Sorry, excuse me. Tiffany here, getting just absolutely destroyed by CJ Stroud's 51 points. It actually would have been... yeah, he still would have won. No, he wouldn't. I can't do math. He would have had 91 points, roughly. So, yeah, he would have lost if it wasn't, if he played he would have had another quarterback and got some points out of him, but you know what I mean. 51 points is fucking crazy. CeeDee Lamb went off as well. Aaron Jones looks like he's back. New Orleans defense 15. Other than that, a shit week from Travis Kelce, which you don't see that very often. Not good at all. George Pickens does George Pickens things. He gets 30 points when he plays me and 1 against everybody else. Nobody really on the bench that he made a mistake not starting. Tiffany's team, Herbert with 7 points. That is rough from a quarterback, not good. The Giants decided not to show up and got a -2 points. Michael Thomas decided not to show up either and got 0. Diggs, a little bit of a down game from Hill, but, it's still Tyreek Hill. Derrick Henry had a good game. I guess, yeah. He's kind of coming back a little bit. Kincaid had a good game. She could have obviously started somebody other than Thomas or something like Wandale, but, you weren't going to do that. So, bad week from Tiffany. I actually predicted that one, too. What did I predict on my matchup? Yeah, I predicted Becker. Okay. I don't think I ever picked myself. Matt and Lance. This one was close. So, I predicted Lance to lose by a blowout, and that did not happen. But Lance did lose, so technically I'm still right. Right? Yeah, okay. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure the screen was on and I'm not dumb. I'm having a bad day today, so... Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown stack works out real well. Taysom Hill, they're starting to get him involved, so that's a really smart third eye pickup from Matt on Taysom Hill. Congratulations. Pittman, Evans, Mostert, Waddle had a little bit of a down game, but I'm going to include him in that. Those guys are like 10 to 15 points a week, like consistently. Yeah, we'll get into this in a little bit, but I've got a hot take coming up. Chargers defense, 27 points, shut out, or not shut out, they got 6 points, but essentially shut out the Jets. Good week from Lance, had a couple of people that kind of hurt him. Godwin, Mike Evans versus Godwin. Obviously, it went to Mike Evans. Down week from Godwin. Cooper did well. Rashad White, surprisingly, no matter how much I devalue this man, decides to put up 28 points. Looks like he, opportunity over talent for sure. Hawkinson had a good week. Gus Edwards got a couple of those touchdowns that the Ravens decided not to give any to Lamar Jackson, and I'm not upset. Garrett Wilson, 13. Yeah, that's essentially it. Brian Robinson with 11 on the bench. You weren't going to fucking start him, so nobody on the bench to speak home about. Good win, Matt. This one was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Shit. CMC on a bye. That was that. But, he has Debo out. Ingram on a bye. Whatever. I thought Ben was going to run away with this one, but turns out he didn't. Bad week from Ben's team. still had, your somewhat consistent, but the Devontae Adams only scoring 7, Henderson only scoring 5. Good thing you started Sam Howell over Will Levis. I'll give you that one, but it's kind of a really down week. Brees, only got 10. Ford was I don't know. It was just a down week. Mahomes, continues to do the 20-point thing. Cooper Kupp had a down week. Josh Downs, I think he got hurt. I don't think he returned to the game. I don't remember. Walker, terrible week from Kenneth Walker. They got just destroyed by the Baltimore defense. Madison, Cam Akers is done for the season, so, Madison's going to be the guy that gets, the touchdown and saves your week here. So, Cole Kmet, 2 touchdowns, continues to do it for the Bears. Watson had a terrible game. Hunt did all right. So, Ben sneaks out a victory there, but it was really close. So, going into this week's matchups, there's not a whole lot to talk about here. Wait, is this week's? Wait, hold on. That's next week. That's this. Okay, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm foreshadowing for next week. I'm going to lose next week too. But this one actually looks like I think it'll be close. We have... It's going to be dependent on a couple things. It's going to be dependent on who I start in these 2 slots as the flex. Still up in the air on, the Gabe Davis, the Jalen Warren, Zay Flowers. They're all kind of the same option there. And then it's also going to be dependent, I think, on whether David Montgomery plays. From everything that I've seen, it looks like he's going to. And see, how much the injury is affecting him. I'm hoping and praying that Tony Pollard has a Tony Pollard game again, or finally. He started the year off all right, but against the Giants, they suck. Lamar, please run in a touchdown and stop giving it to your running backs. That'd be great. Thank you. He's hindered heavily this week. No Mahomes, no Kupp. Put in Geno and, Josh Downs. I don't know if he's playing or not. I haven't seen any of the injury news on him. Did not participate Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, so we don't know yet. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and make myself lose because I just picked myself. But I'm picking me. He's hindered a little bit this week, so I'm going to give myself another win. Okay, Ryan's hurting this week without the Kelsey and the Puka and stuff. Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, and I can't do both because I'm not that smart. I'm going to pick Becker to win. I think Chase has a bounce back week. Dak carves up the Giants. Jacobs against the Jets might not be very good. Kamara versus Minnesota. I can't remember about Minnesota's defense right now. He should be all right. Kyle Pitts, I think, has a bad game. Arizona used to be the one that you targeted for your tight ends, but it's actually not really gone that way this year. Ramondre is going to have a good game against Indianapolis. Looking for Beige on Ryan's side. CeeDee Lamb's going to have a good game. But, if he catches a touchdown, then Dak gets it's one of those games. Now, CJ Stroud is talented. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not talented. But he's not... 51 points is a little bit of a stretch. I don't think CJ Stroud does that well this week. I'm guessing somewhere in the 15 range, so maybe a little bit lower than the projection, but that's what I'm thinking against Cincinnati. Starting Douglas, Pickens is, hit and miss. So Bijan's been kind of not playing up to his talent level. I think Bijan is a better running back for NFL than he is for fantasy at the moment. Hopefully for Ryan's sake that changes, but I've got Becker winning. Why does it keep doing Um, Lance versus Kim. All right, so half of Kim's team's on a bye because the Eagles are on a bye. So Swift, Goddard. Well, Goddard's going to be. I'm assuming he's going to be put on IR, but don't know just yet. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm gonna pick Kim. I'm not gonna say it's a blowout this time, but I think Kim wins this one. I think this one will actually be really close, like really close. If Lance wins this one, it's not crazy, but I mean, she does have a bad matchup against Dallas for Saquon. I don't know. Dalton Schultz has been overperforming. Terry McLaurin's doing good. Thielen, I think, bounces back against Chicago. She's got Amon-Ra back. Tennessee's bad, but does it go to Mike Evans or does it Chris Godwin? Jahmyr Gibbs has got a high point total there, but does David Montgomery eat into that? God, I hope so. I'm going with Kim. That one's close. That one's really close. All right. Yeah, here we go. Look at the screen. I'm sorry, Ben. I picked Matt. I got Matt winning this one. Kyler Murray is now Ben's quarterback with the stack of Hollywood. So I believe in that duo there, but not this week. I know it's against Atlanta, and Atlanta's defense is very suspect. I could totally be wrong. I think this is a very close matchup, but I think Matt squeaks this one out. There are quite a few things that would make me think that I'm being an idiot, and that is that he has Hurts, Waddle, Brown, Mostert. Okay, I'm changing my mind. Changed it mid thing. I just now saw that you're starting Taysom Hill in the flex and Brian Robinson. I don't like that. I still think this is a close matchup, but he's got the bye week problems. I mean, Ben can throw in fucking Drake London for Ford, and that kind of negates what I was getting ready to talk about. Ford being bad against not the Browns. He's on the Browns against the Ravens. So okay, I'm changing my mind. I got Ben winning this one. Still think it's going to be somewhat close-ish. I do not believe in this 72-28 favorite thing, but I got Ben winning it just because of I don't like the Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's either going to put up the 20 points or he's going to put up like 4 points. Like, it's one of those things. All right. I just changed my mind live on air. So, I think that was the last. Oh, nope. We got one more. Dumpster Fire versus Password is Taco. Has anybody tried to hack her account? Because the password is not Taco. Just a spoiler alert. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. I've already kind of looked at this one a minute ago. I don't know what the hell she's doing. I don't know why the New York Giants defense is still on her roster. I would have dropped their asses like mid-game, but she can do what she wants to do. Tua's on a bye, but so is Tyreek, so let's call that a wash. I just believe in the Eckler, Etienne, Higgins, Ayuk, Laporta thing more than I believe in the Diggs, Henry, Kincaid, Lockett, Thomas, Sutton thing this week. So I think that Tim wins this one. I picked him already. Okay. All right. Let me check. Yep. Okay, cool. So, that being said, let's move on to the power rankings. I don't know why I clicked that. Let's just have you guys look at the screen. This is where we're going to get a little hot takey here. So, forewarning, I've got opinions this week, and I'm going to use them. So, from the bottom up, still going to put John down there at 10, 3-game losing streak. A little rough. Had a very not great week last week, along with myself. And that's a beautiful transition into number 9. I have myself. So, 2-game losing streak. Maybe going to win this week, but if not, I'm definitely losing next week. So it's one of those things where, predicting the future a little bit. Hopefully I can sneak into the playoffs, but as of right now, I've not got high hopes. And then, I've got my people like Tony Pollard, who are great running backs, but I can't trade them because, everybody's on the same page as I am. Yeah, he's got the potential, but he hasn't done it yet. So if I trade him to somebody, I've got to sell him for nothing, and he's still Tony Pollard, so you can't do that. So I'm just going to rock with it and hope it works out. If it doesn't, I have a new strategy going next year for the draft, one way or the other. Anyway, number 8, we're going to put Ryan there at number 8. Like his team name says, Kelsey and the underperformers. Just don't care for the team as much as Tim's, so that's why I'm putting you there at 8. Number 7, I've got Tim. You won last week. I predict you to win this week again. Things are kind of looking on the up and up here. Still got that 2-7 record, so you can't really afford to lose any more games, but it's not like it's a super crazy, from 5 to 10 here. It's only for you it's 3, but 2. I was looking at myself because it's highlighted. 2 games that, somebody could lose, and it's kind of a tight race here after you get past, the Ben and the Matt. So, Tim at 7, got Lance at 6. Very, very, very strong performance last week, but, just one of those things where his team on paper, to me, doesn't look the greatest, but then they overperform. So, between Lance and Tiffany and Kim, those are almost interchangeable teams. So, don't put too much weight into my power rankings here. All of these can be interchangeable. I've got Lance at 6. I've got Tiffany at 5. And I've got Kim at 4. So Tiffany, she's got the powerhouse of the 2 wide receivers, but, the other wide receivers on her team seem to not be performing consistently, and it's always you pick the wrong one. Been there, been in that spot, and it sucks. And as you can see, as of last week, if your Herbert doesn't show up, then kind of in a rough spot there. And then Kim, just a bad week last week, so that's why I have you over Tiffany still. Down week. Record is now in the negatives. That kind of sucks. It's one of those things. You'll bounce back. Number 4, or wait, no. What did it? Okay, we're at number 3. Yeah, we're at number 3, sorry. Becker, number 3. James Conner's coming back. Justin Jefferson is on his 21-day window, so things are looking up. He survived the 2 big injuries on his team and front runner to win the championship, in my opinion. So, Ryan at 3. This is where we get crazy. So, Ben, close your ears. I've got Ben at 2. Hot take, I know. I know he's won 8 straight games. But I'm looking at the 2 teams, and I'm looking at how they're performing. I'm looking at the points against that Matt has had to deal with. And I even so far went to look at the schedule So, Ben has this week is going to be a rough one. The next week's going to be rough. I think Ben beats Tiffany, maybe. I mean, these three matchups could go either way. I think Ben beats this one, and I think Ben beats that one. Nope, not wrong team. Where am I at? Where's Matt? Jesus friggin' Christ. So this week, obviously, Matt's got to win here. Matt's got to win here. And then iffy and iffy. I think Matt's team is, on paper, to me, stronger and performing stronger than Ben's team at the moment. Matt has the easier schedule. Matt has had the more adversity than Ben as far as points allowed and God dang it, points allowed and stuff like that. So I've got Ben at 2 and Matt at 1. I'm looking at both of them and I'm like, which team would I rather have? I would rather have Matt's team. I think it just looks stronger all around. Ben's team can definitely prove me wrong, but there's still, as much as you don't want to admit it, there's still some question marks about Kyler Murray. Dude hasn't played football in a minute. You've obviously got the good 1-2 punch at the receiver there. Keenan Allen has not been like he was at the start of the year. Devontae Adams has question marks with the Raiders and what the fuck they're doing. You've got Kyron Williams coming back soonish. I get that. Khalil Herbert's whatever. Trey McBride looks like he could be turning it on, but are you really ever going to start Trey McBride in one of these flexes over, Devontae or Keenan Allen? No, so it's going to be on your bench, so I'm not really counting that. Jerome Ford's not been looking like he's been super great. Hollywood hopefully benefits from the Kyler thing, but I'm looking at Matt's team on a regular week, this is his bipocalypse week, so let's just look at last week. Hurts, Brown, fucking stud stack. You love it. Jalen Waddle. One of those players that's either going to be a boom or bust. Last week, not really necessarily a bust, I guess, but kind of for his standards. 8 points, is what it is. Taylor is looking a lot better coming from a Colts fan, so I think Taylor's on the up and up, and he's getting way more snaps than Zach Moss. Raheem Mostert, been solid all year. Mike Evans and Michael Pittman, like I said earlier, 10 to 15 point range with even higher upside. I think probably, 5 to 8 points is the absolute floor for both of those guys. So, I mean, they're going to at least score you 8 points every week. That's amazing. Tyler Boyd is not a terrible, fill-in option. Taysom Hill and George Kittle. If Taysom keeps doing what he's doing, that's great. And we all know that George Kittle has a very, very great game every third game. So, and then Brian Robinson is not a terrible plug-in running back whatsoever. Very consistent. And he's got the defenses to go with it. I've got Matt's team better than Ben's. I said it. So that is all that I have for this week. Another short episode. As a reminder, trade deadline, I believe, is the 18th. I think I said that earlier, but anyway. It's like the 18th. It's on like a Friday or Saturday or something. It's coming up very, very soon. So I know Tim's been putting in the messenger his trade block stuff. I suggest everybody else do the same and start making the deals and stuff. If you get a deal done last minute, I'm really going to need you guys to send me a text or something. It's possible that I might not see it. So that's all I've got. So anybody wants to come on next week, please, 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 please let me know. Volunteer now for next week. We can do it on I don't like to do it on Tuesdays because waivers haven't ran yet, but we can if you need to. Wednesday or Thursday would be optimal. Friday would be doable. So that's what I would like to do. I would also like to have Lance, Becker, or Tim on the show. Haven't been on the show yet. Everybody else has had their time to shine. So, but if somebody wants to come on a second time and those guys don't volunteer, fine by me. Just somebody. I know you guys don't really like listen to these episodes as much when I'm on here rambling by myself, because there's no, back and forth from my opinion. So I would like to get somebody else on here. But anyways, that is all I got. And thank you guys for watching. Please, if you're on YouTube, drop a like. If you're on Spotify, give it 5 stars if you haven't already. I will see you guys next week.